Yo, this is something I didn't expect, but I've been waiting for. This is my main reason why I'm voting for Trump. I disagree with Kamala's position on the war in Gaza. How can I vote for her? Here's my answer: Bernie Sanders. I'll give you my answer after, but let's see what Bernie got to say. The man who never was president, but could have been the greatest.
I understand that there are millions of Americans who disagree with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris on the terrible war in Gaza. I am one of them. While Israel had a right to defend itself against the horrific Hamas terrorist attack of October 7th, which killed 1,200 innocent people and took 250 hostages, it did not have the right to wage an all-out war against the entire Palestinian people. It did not have the right to kill 42,000 Palestinians, 2/3 of whom were children, women, and the elderly, or injure over 100,000 people in Gaza. It did not have the right to destroy Gaza's infrastructure, housing, and healthcare system. It did not have the right to bomb every one of Gaza's 12 universities. It did not have the right to block humanitarian aid, causing massive malnutrition in children and, in fact, starvation. And that is why I am doing everything I can to block U.S. military aid and offensive weapons sales to the right-wing extremist Netanyahu government in Israel. And I know that many of you share those feelings. And some of you are saying, how can I vote for Kamala Harris if she is supporting this terrible war?
Let's go.
And that is a very fair question. And let me give you my best answer. And that is that even on this issue, Donald Trump and his right-wing friends are worse. In the Senate, in Congress, the Republicans have worked overtime to block humanitarian aid to the starving children in Gaza. The president and vice president both support getting as much humanitarian aid into Gaza as soon as possible. Trump has said Netanyahu is doing a good job and has said Biden is holding him back. He has suggested that the Gaza Strip would make excellent beachfront property for development. And it is no wonder Netanyahu prefers to have Donald Trump in office. But even more importantly, and this I promise you, after Kamala wins, we will together do everything that we can to change U.S. policy toward Netanyahu. An immediate ceasefire, the return of all hostages, a surge of massive humanitarian aid, the stopping of settler attacks on the West Bank, and the rebuilding of Gaza for the Palestinian people. And let me be clear, we will have, in my view, a much better chance of changing U.S. policy with Kamala than with Trump, who is extremely close to Netanyahu and sees him as a like-minded, right-wing extremist ally. But let me also say this, and I deal with this every single day as a U.S. Senator. As important as Gaza is, and as strongly as many of us feel about this issue, it is not the only issue at stake in this election. If Trump wins, women in this country will suffer an enormous setback and lose the ability to control their own bodies. That is not acceptable. If Trump wins, to be honest with you, the struggle against climate change is over. While virtually every scientist who has studied the issue understands that climate change is real and an existential threat to our country and the world, Trump believes it is a hoax. And if the United States, the largest economy in the world, stops transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel, every other country, China, Europe, all over the world, they will do exactly the same thing. And God only knows the kind of planet we will leave to our kids and future generations. If Trump wins at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, he will demand even more tax breaks for the very richest people in our country while cutting back on programs that working families desperately need. The rich will only get richer, while the minimum wage will remain at $7.25 an hour, and millions of our fellow workers will continue to earn starvation wages. Did you all see the recent Trump rally at Madison Square Garden? Well, I did. And what I can tell you is that as a nation, as all of you know, We have struggled for years against impossible odds to try to overcome all forms of bigotry, whether it is racism, whether it's sexism, whether it's homophobia, whether it's xenophobia, you name it. We have tried to fight against bigotry. But that is exactly what we saw on display at that unbelievable Trump rally. It was not a question of speakers getting up there disagreeing with Kamala Harris on the issues. That wasn't the issue at all. They were attacking her simply because she was a woman and a woman of color. Extreme, vulgar sexism and racism. Is that really the kind of America that we can allow? So let me conclude by saying this. This is the most consequential election in our lifetimes.
You say that all the time.
Many of you have differences of opinion with Kamala Harris on Gaza.
Trump as well.
So do I. But we cannot sit this election out. Trump has got to be defeated. Let's do everything we can in the next week to make sure that Kamala Harris is our next president. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Bernie Sanders, listen. First of all, let's start with love. I love you. Thank you for saying that. That was the most clear answer that I've gotten about Gaza. Unfortunately, it didn't come from Kamala. It feels like they tapped you and say, hey, Bernie, she can't say this, but can you say it? Because what you want me to believe here, Bernie, right, with everything she says and been saying, what you want me to believe is that she has some type of like spook in the corner type thing. Like she got some type of oh, I got to say this to get the money and the supporters. But once I'm in, everything's going to change. And we've seen that, right? I think most politicians do that. I think they get in saying, hey, I'm going to change America. But then the money and the corporations and the lobbyists get to them and it changes. They go, you know what? I'm doing this, but I'm just going to do it. Once I get $10 million, nope. Then it goes to, once I get 50 million, then they get 100 million, but then their lifestyle go up and they can't afford to lose the job. They're like, oh man, I'm upgraded. I got a $20 million house and I can't really afford it in 10 more years. Okay. No, if you know that most of Americans are held back because of this, then why won't she say it? Why won't she say, listen, we're going to finish this war. Both sides, it's gotten a little bit out of hand. They had every right to do it. Why won't they say that? They had every right to do it. She didn't even got to go into the numbers. They had every right to do what they did. But listen, we need to come, for the sake of humanity, we need to come to a ceasefire. Even if they have it, that don't mean you should do it. Just because you're able to do something don't mean that you should do it. Now, just to get to the most pressing thing when it comes to Trump, you just said, like, basically, yeah, if you think she's supporting Israel, oh, man, wait till Trump get in there. It's going to be crazy. This is what I'm going to tell you. We know that both sides are the same. We know that we're choosing not between an angel and a devil, but between two devils, if you want to put it that way. Sure. Two devils. And Netanyahu has gotten up. Biden has given them billions at this point. And Netanyahu has the nerve to go on TV at different times and say, listen, they're not doing enough. They're not doing enough of this. And then both Biden and Harris has never even attempted to say anything negative or, yes, we are. We're doing a lot. Come on. They just simply say, we will stand behind Israel. I've heard Trump say negative things about Netanyahu. So let's say both of them are saying what they need to get into office then. And they really don't even, maybe both of them don't even like Netanyahu. But Trump's the only one that say, yo, the last time when I was in office and we were supposed to do some joint stuff against the terrorists, put a drone on them, Netanyahu and them pulled out at the last second. I don't know. I didn't get a phone call or nothing. Israel just didn't show up when we was taking out this high profile individual. So what do you think, knowing Trump's ego, when he go, yeah, we're going to support Israel, we're going to send them all this money, we're going to send them this, and the moment one of those shipments don't get there in time, and Netanyahu go on TV and say, well, Trump needs to do more. I think that, we should really have the money and some American troops, whatever it is. Trump's ego is going to take control, and he's going to light Netanyahu up. I am voting for Trump because I believe that Trump, he won't do the right thing because it's the right thing. But Trump is a man that he cares about what you say about him, right? He turned against other Republicans at the snap of a dime. That's what they say. Oh, he'll turn on him. He'll turn on. He's like a rabid dog. Hey, if you don't feed him, Netanyahu won't continue to feed Trump. If he do, then we all messed up. It don't matter who president. It could be Kamala could be vice president. He could be president at that point. It don't matter. But if Netanyahu open his mouth and say something to Trump like he been doing to Biden, Trump will turn on him. Trump might go and go to the UN and say, "Yeah, I think we should do an investigation." Trump is liable to do anything. That's why American people love him. Yes, he's a politician, but he's so unhinged that we know even the politicians don't trust that he gonna go through what he say. He's liable to go, yeah. I'm gonna do that for you. Yep. And then next day turn around and say, "Nah, we ain't doing that." So by that fact, it don't mean nothing when he's like, "Yeah, Netanyahu," and Netanyahu like, "Yeah, we want Trump, and yeah, he's the best fit." Nah. Well, he don't know what he getting into. He don't know Trump like we know Trump, obviously. Because if you gotta kiss his butt to the T, and I don't think Netanyahu gonna do that to the. He gonna continue to do it. He gonna slip up, even if he don't do it purposely. Somebody gonna come out and say something in his administration about Trump, and he gonna say what he say. Because Kamala won't, and Bernie maybe she will, but if she came out and said, "Listen, we need to fix this." Yes, they are allies, but just like our politicians here in America, we love America, but sometimes our politicians do bad things. Trump was just our president and did something crazy. But nobody in Israel could do nothing crazy. I guess only Americans politicians are capable of being evil. But Israel not. Nobody in Israel, nobody wrong. These people are dying. And we got to play games as American people and try to guess which one is going to give them less money and aid, right? Nobody is saying we ain't going to give them no aid. Forget most of the American people is also saying this, like, yo, even if you on the side of Israel, like they had the right, like, yo, come on, this is getting a little absurd now. Bernie, I love you. I just don't believe I don't believe that she's going to do what you're saying. Did you have some type of private talk with her in the back? And I disagree with you on that. She's like, yeah. I know too. I don't really want to do it. We just need the AOC money. And then after, once I'm president, we're going to fix this. I don't believe it. I believe they're going to do what they always do and say, "Oh, we tried to fix it, but the Republicans. Oh, but the we didn't want to send this money to Israel, but the Republicans." They just take time blaming each other. Hey, last time we took blame for sending that money to Israel and Ukraine. This time, y'all got to take it. Nah. Just time, you act like you want it, and we're going to act like we don't. And then next time, when we pass that other money, you will say we want it, and then you don't. So then American people just say, they just fighting. The money's still getting sent, but we still fighting. And it still gets sent. Bernie, listen, I'm going to say thank you for this, though. Thank you for this. Because now I feel like somebody's finally heard us. They've been walking around like she don't know that. Like she don't know that this is like one of the core things that people disagree with her. Thank you, Bernie, for this. But still, I don't believe her. I wish we could all vote for Bernie. But let me know what y'all think, cave dwellers. This is sick. I'm sorry to the people in Gaza, to the Palestinians. I am sorry that you are going through this. I am sorry that our tax dollars are being used for this. This is why I want to run for office one day. I cannot continue to sit back here and watch this. It just messes with my mind. It makes you not trust people. It makes you not be able to go outside the house. My spidey senses are tingling. Is this a good person? Is this a good person? What you want from me? You're in the military, you see some stuff that will make you question reality. And when you come to the conclusion, you come to your conclusion. Either you're going to be an evil person when you come to that conclusion of reality, or you're going to be one of the best people in the world. And that's what I feel like I am. Once you come to reality and what we live in, and you come outside the cave, you become enlightened. And you say, "Oh my God, look at these people playing and these people playing." It's like you living inside that movie Ready Player One. And it's just all virtual reality. You're like, this can't be real, right? Sometimes you just want to take these politicians in the back and just like, "Yo, please tell me. Please tell me you got offered money, right? Like you don't really believe that. Like it would make more sense that you were offered a lump sum of money and you betrayed us for the bag. I could take that, but to just take that you just naturally this dumb, that you just honestly believe this, that's almost worse." But thank you again, Bernie. I still ain't voting for her ass. Go Trump. Hopefully Netanyahu say something. Hopefully Trump gets in office, and then once he's in office, he gonna take back all these promises he gave it and just worry about the American people. Trump has a long history of being, in the black community, in the hip hop space, and urban, more than any of these politicians have. So once Trump, and this is his last term too, if he go, he ain't worried about being reelected and doing something for this, doing something for that. I truly believe that Trump is our only hope of making America great again, and he probably even won't do it. But it's only 4 years of him, and then we'll go again. But to do 8 years of Kamala straight back to back, nah, we can't do that. Let me know what y'all think, cave dwellers, in the comments. Nah, Bernie. But thank you, Bernie. This is great. This is a great try. This is a great try for her.